Snuggly.
You also need a mint.
Fuck off.
Hello and welcome to another one of Nick and Evana's amazing dating vlogs.
What we're going to talk about today is baggage.
And not the bags under the eyes. We're tired. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Massive day of work. Okay, so baggage and how many people take it from one relationship to the next relationship.
The last serious relationship I had, which was going a couple of years back now. No, that definitely had baggage attached from the first. Like I don't know. Looking back now, it looks like that there was perhaps either an overlap or very little time between that one ending and my one starting. But I think what that kind of the two major things that happened within that was one, I was being judged on her ex's previous poor behavior, which is incredibly unfair because I mean, I remember the first time I said, "Oh yeah, I'll be there like later tonight," and then I didn't go because the thing that I was at was a work-related thing, and it went way later than it was supposed to, as work stuff often does. And then that was like World War Three. It was like, oh my god, like you can't even, it was just the worst thing ever. And it's like, well, hang on a minute, why is this such a big deal? I told you I was going out to a work thing, so on and so forth. And then I find out like 2 days later, once she calmed down, was that her ex would say, "Oh, I'm going out to the shops," and come back 3 days later, and I'm like, "We were in constant contact,
Yeah.
but I was at a work thing."
Yeah.
So that was one thing and there were many, many, many instances of that.
Yeah.
But the other thing was when every other story starts with my ex, and it's like, you're not with your ex, you're with me now. Don't want to hear about your ex. I actually had to tell her unequivocally, don't tell me any more stories about your ex unless it's I'm better, bigger, or any other B word. Like it's like I don't need to know these things.
Mm.
You know.
I think it is very hard. When I was younger, a bit more inexperienced, I think I definitely, did that kind of thing. Because obviously, being hurt in the past, it's hard to, it's hard to remember that this is a new person, a different person, and they're not necessarily, hopefully, gonna do whatever bad shit your ex did. But a lot of people obviously do jump from one to the next with that thought. um, I think one of the major issues with people in general is people don't give enough time in between relationships. And I say this because I know that I've done that in the past. This time after my more recent long term relationship has been the longest gap that I've ever given myself, and it's because I finally realized, okay, I've been hurt here, and I really need to get over this hurt before I go into move on to anyone else. Um,
And
and
it's funny how many people try and heal the old hurt from the old
yeah,
relationship with something new.
yeah, and it doesn't. Um, Very rarely, I think a lot of people, I see it all the time with girlfriends, jumping from one to the next, thinking that I'm so lonely, I'm so hurt, I'm so vulnerable, I feel so insecure now because of what that person did to me. I need to go find someone else to try and fill those voids, and it doesn't. It's like, no, you need to be by yourself. You need to figure out what went wrong in that past relationship from both sides.
Mm.
What did you do? What did you contribute? What did they do? How can you avoid that next time and really heal? Because it's, yeah, jumping from one to the next is not a not way to get over it at all.
And the worst part, which is it's same relationship, same experience, was when there's overlap.
Yeah.
Like the other person's already seeing someone else and
Mm.
your shit's not done yet. And it's
Yeah.
like, well, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, that just makes the whole situation even worse because not only is that person already looking elsewhere while before you've broken it off or
Yeah.
whatever. Like, yeah, okay, you might be having troubles for whatever it is, but until you can't start one until you've ended the other one. And the problem is when you overlap them, particularly if you're sleeping with both of them at the same time. I mean, that effectively is just cheating.
Mhm.
And why
Very
would
much so.
yeah, and particularly if the third party either knows what the situation is or knows the person and knows that it's not, or at least thinks it's not over.
Mm.
I mean, that just why would even that be appealing? I mean, that person's cheating on that person or somebody else. to be with you. I mean, that's a terrible place to start a relationship from.
It is. And you've actually just described how my last relationship started.
Is that what you did?
Yeah.
Were you the other woman?
I was.
You hooch!
And it was horrible. It was a horrible, horrible situation to be in. It was, anxiety, feeling sick every day, just knowing that,
And the thing is,
it was
and
just
see,
horrible.
this is the interesting
I will
thing.
never, ever do that again. It was horrible.
And this is exactly what I'm getting at. There's a big difference between having baggage that you haven't dropped off yet or dealt with, and having like serious, like deep shit about like anxiety. I mean, anxiety is so much worse than people seem to give it credit for. But I mean, the thing is if you've been in a situation, particularly for a long time, where you wake up anxious, worried about your significant other. I mean, obviously that's an unhealthy place to be in for a kickoff.
Yeah.
But what it does is it stays with you.
Yeah.
To the point now where you get anxious about, am I going to get stood up or whatever it is, or are these person's intentions genuine, or whatever it is. I mean, just like whatever it might be, it has such a long effect, and you can't label that as baggage. Baggage is different, but I mean, this is like emotional shit that you have to deal with, and like you say, healing, getting over shit, coming to terms with whatever bad stuff has happened, and then not putting that out on other people. The unfortunate reality about all of this is that so many of the things that happen in a relationship that fuck us up for the next one happen again, and it's a repetitive cycle.
And then you start to think, what am I doing? Why does it keep happening to me? And maybe it is something that you're doing. I think, it's obviously something that you're attracting, or something you're not putting your foot down when you notice the signs. You're not listening to your gut as well, I think is a big thing. I think we've talked about this before.
We did a whole thing on that.
Trusting your gut instincts, but yeah, baggage in general. I think my advice would be to give yourself time in between relationships to basically mourn the loss of something,
Did you kill him?
the part of your life. I still want to. Mourn the loss of the person in the past.
And I think from my own experience, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that I have baggage per se, but I mean, that being said, I haven't been in a serious relationship for 2 years. Something like that. Anyway, but what I'm getting at is like, personally for me, I don't feel like I've got a lot of baggage left over from things that have happened in the past. I mean, like I said in other videos, I've been cheated on and it sucks and it hurts and all that kind of crap. But I think that the main thing that's happened for me that's been long lasting is that I've become cynical about relationships in general.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, yeah, you could say and that is in a way baggage, but I think it's more just my outlook on life in general. So it's not just a relationship, boy-girl relationship, it's just a relationship thing in general. I mean, the amount of people...
That people are shit.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it. I mean, the amount of people that you think are, like, good friends.
Yeah.
I mean, perfect example is I had a business relationship which was a friendship for the past 6 years, which all of a sudden turns to absolute crap, and then the guy like steals from me and all sorts of stuff. And it's like, this is someone that used to be a friend, like stayed at my house.
Yeah.
There's only about 7 people know where I live. Well, until that house burnt down. There's only about 7 people that actually knew where I lived. And like to get into that small circle and then do that kind of shit. And that is the thing that sticks with me is when you get that in deep with somebody. And on a personal relationship, be it a romantic relationship, be it a business friendship.
So you've got your friendship baggage.
Whatever it is. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Now, I'm at a point now where I just keep a lot of distance. Or don't give anybody the opportunity to be able to hurt me like that. I mean, like you're wonderful, but like we're never going to get in a position where that's actually going to ever be an issue. Unless, of course, you get drunk and jump me and I let you. I mean, is that awkward? You're not saying anything?
Not for me, maybe for them.
Right.
Yeah, no, I think, my advice, time in between to heal and
And try and it's quite easy to identify your baggage if you just sit down and think about it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You really need to sit down and think about it, like, okay, what's happened?
Or have open conversations with someone you trust.
Yeah.
I mean, and if you don't have that person, shit, email us. we will help you. Like we'll read the email and then we can put it out. Like if you've got
Without your
stuff like
name,
that,
of course.
yeah, completely anonymous if you want it that way. But what I'm saying is that not necessarily everyone has a friend like I have Ivana that we can talk about literally anything. No,
It's good to have the opposite sex's perspective on a lot of things as well. Um, even the other day I rang up my friend Gary and was like, "So, I'm just gonna throw it out there. What do you think it is about blah 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 blah?" I'm not gonna talk about it here, but and he was like, "Well, to be honest, blah 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 blah," and he just told me what he his thoughts. And I was like, "Okay, yeah, I get it from the guy's perspective, kind of thing." And so it's good to.
And if you can shop that opinion around as well,
Mm,
I mean, I like to think that I'm pretty mellow and level-headed, but I mean, I might have a very strong opinion about something and give you a different answer.
mm,
So if you can shop that opinion around as well, that's always good.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, just like if you're out of something or you're in something that you're not happy with, or whatever it is, don't go sending nudes to people to try and feel better about yourself while you're in a relationship.
It's gonna make you
That's
feel worse.
It is gonna make you feel worse because you're gonna feel guilty as fuck, and you're also a bad person, so don't do it.
Yeah.
But there's the whole others. There's so many things. Just talk to people, and if you don't have anyone to talk to us. We will reply to your messages. Wherever you saw it, be it Facebook or email, whatever. Just talk to us. We will reply. We will. We want to help you as much as we want to help ourselves. But like it's so important to just have that. Like two of the biggest words I feel that in life in general is communication and consequence. Those are like the two biggest words. I've got another happy word I like that's a C word, but it's not for YouTube. But it's those are the two big ones: consequence and communication.
Yeah.
If you understand consequence and you can communicate, and openly communicate with someone you trust, that's gonna make your life so much easier.
Very much so. I think people hold back a lot of thoughts and feelings, and you shouldn't do it because, yeah, it's basically going against your truth to get all spiritual and going against your truth. Not a good time. Yep.
But yeah, again, I hope this has been educational and helpful. And if you think Ivana and I should go on a date, give it a thumbs up. If you think that this is a terrible video and you never want to watch another one, give us a thumbs down. And if you're looking forward to the next video when insert awesome thing here happens, hit the subscribe button and then you'll get notified on YouTube and your phone and all that kind of crap when a new video goes live. And we appreciate the shit out of subscribes.
Thank you.
Bye.
See ya.